Candyman is the 2021 film directed by Nia DaCosta. It's also written by her in part. There's 3 people, and one of those people is Jordan Peele. He also executive produced it. So this movie had a lot of hype. The trailer's pretty cool. It's got shadow puppets aesthetic. Nia DaCosta, I'm familiar with her work. She did a crime thriller called Little Woods that was pretty good. So I was really excited for Candyman. I've seen the original film, but none of the sequels. And I was really pumped for this horror film because it looked really good. It's a new update. I can't really get into the details of the plot without giving anything away. But I have to say overall that the movie is kind of underwhelming. Candyman is about a couple, a very well-off couple. He is a painter, she is an art curator, and he had a really great show 2 years ago, but he's in a bit of a rut, so she sort of pays for everything, and he goes to Cabrini Green to sort of explore gentrification for a new art piece that he's thinking of doing, because his other art man wants something cultural. Let's exploit that history. So when he goes to the projects of Cabrini Green, he meets someone who tells him about the legend of Candyman. And basically there was a man who was killed because he had a hook for a hand. He was very creepy, and he had candy, but there was razor blades in the candy, and the police killed him wrongfully, and now he's back to wreak vengeance, but only if you say his name 5 times in front of a mirror. So certain characters try doing this, and they end up getting horribly wrecked for this. There's nothing technically wrong with the movie. The movie has new art aesthetics, like Candyman only shows up in mirrors, pretty cool kills, gore. The direction's really great too. There's this really haunting upside down shot of buildings that's really cool. The acting's really great from everyone. The whole cast does a really good job, especially the guy who plays Troy, the gay brother of the main character's love interest. He steals the show. But overall, I think the biggest problem with Candyman is that the last 15 minutes of the movie just completely and utterly drops the ball. It's going in one direction and then just completely does a 180, and it's almost like the writers were trying to infuse a little bit more cultural stuff, so they sort of bend the plot backwards to something that doesn't even make sense, and then they try to throw in some last minute stuff, and it completely drops the ball. There's just too much going on with the movie. It's very ambitious. It's trying to have rich themes of exploiting the pain of black culture. It's trying to have police brutality in there. It's trying to be about hipsters moving into gentrified locations. It's trying to also so a lot of these elements are underbaked. For example, the main character's girlfriend, she also has a trauma that's thrown in there, but it's never really explored. And one character wants her to sort of explore it, but she never actually gets to. And then there's also a subplot involving a high school girl who summons Candyman, and they get attacked in a bathroom, but it has nothing to do with the plot. You could take that out of the movie, and all it would do is reduce the body count by a little. So there's actually not a really large body count. It doesn't feel like a slasher movie. I mean, it does have the opening couple of kills, but then after that, the movie just sort of drops the ball. It doesn't want to, it forgets to be a horror movie. You can still have all that cultural relevancy and all that stuff, all those rich themes, but you still have to be a scary, enjoyable horror film with supernatural slasher elements. I remember the original Candyman wasn't really much of a slasher either. It was really slow. The first kill didn't happen until an hour in the movie, and it was very atmospheric. This one, I don't know what's going on with it. It's trying to find its own voice, but it's also trying to homage the original, and it doesn't quite strike the balance and tone. I mean, it does hit the tone because I like the direction, but it just doesn't stick the landing. And I was kind of disappointed in the movie because it has all the right elements there, right? It's got a pretty decent budget. It's got a good cast. It's got, homages to the original. It has all the elements you need, but it just kind of feels like it's fumbling and it drops the ball. So I give Candyman a 6 out of 10.